Complications since we had twins? Oh, thank goodness, no. Health-wise, I'm completely okay. I had no complications. I healed quite well, quite quickly. So yeah, I was really blessed in that department. So no. Just wanted to ask, how was the transition of being a new wife and mother been? Love you. Oh, I always feel so good when people show me love. The transition was shocking, the least to say. Better now, and it gets better. So for being a wife, it wasn't really too much of a transition or shock. My husband is very hands-on, you know, he looks after himself, thank God. Obviously I also love, you know, helping out, taking care of each other. So we are really much in sync and in tune. Like, he would do all the ironing, I would do all the cooking, or vice versa. Like, you know, it's not one burden or one big task or things for me to do by myself. With the twins, we're both in for a shock. The lack of sleep really got to us. There was a couple of nights, a lot of arguing, but you know, we made it the other end. Thank goodness. Whew. That transition was not easy, okay? I think the kids coming was the hardest part, because it's no longer about you two, it's now about them. However, you have to make sure somehow, some way, you force things to also be about you two. Like, you must force that in there, okay? Story and how you found out. Also, girl, I can't even share that here, because girl, it was hot. Oh my gosh, I thought it was a joke. I thought, honestly, it was a joke. I tested myself because I worked, I can't tell you guys where I work, but it doesn't matter. I tested like over 10 times. I thought it was a joke. I still thought it was a joke. Listen, I thought it was a joke until my belly was growing. Like, seriously. Yeah, I'm not going to share that story because it's a bit too much for YouTube. You know, sometimes you need a limit. When YouTube starts cutting that coin, okay? When I get the subscribers, then yeah, certain stories I can share. Okay. Show the twins, sis. Oh, girl, listen. I personally have zero, like I told you, I have zero issues showing the twins. But the problem is their dad hates the fact that my page is public, that any randomer across the world can have access to my children. There's no judgment here for parents that publicly have their children on their posts. Zero judgment, because I have no issues with it, but my husband does not like it, and I just respect his wishes, because if there's certain things I do not like for the twins and he listens, I think it's best for my relationship and for my feelings not to get hurt when I don't like something, he listens to me. So I do not post them for that reason. I don't know how long he's going to be feeling like this for. I guess they're his first kids and they're still very young. He's probably trying to protect them from pedos out there, trying to protect them from witches out there, whatever. But no witches can ever harm my family, because I serve the living God. I serve the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the God that gave me Jesus, the one and the largest sacrificer, the one that died for me and my family's sins. We are covered and drenched in the blood of Jesus. There's angels all around me and my children, my husband, my marriage. There's angels with chariots of fire all around us. God, listen, the angels that I have, I might start speaking in tongues, but anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm a dangerous human being, because the God that I serve, he is mighty, the King of Kings. There's no one below him. He is above it all. So go make it. Try it if you want to. Ow, I'm so proud of my God. Oh gosh. Was there any time in your pregnancy when you thought you couldn't do it and wasn't ready for it? The only time I felt that way was the day, like minutes before they were about to take them out. Like, I was like, this is not fair. I was crying, I was upset. I was like, oh man, my children are gonna come out looking funny. They're too young, it's not fair. But that was the only time. Apart from that, I had quite easy pregnancy, so yeah, that was the only time for me. What cream are you using for the baby and yourself? Please, I will just put a picture. The children use a cream called Olayton. oil tan or something like that. I'll put the name up for you guys in a picture. And I am a Palmer's girl, always been a Palmer's girl. I barely even cream anyway. I'm one of those ashy girls. Yep, I'm ashy. I don't even care. I have no shame. I am Palmer's girl, normal cocoa butter or coconut oil. Yeah, just simple. I'm a simple girl when it comes to like all that beauty, well, not beauty stuff, okay? You know, I ain't simple. Ain't nothing simple about me, but yeah, I use Palmer's. Okay. How did you deal with body weight whilst pregnant with twins? Girl! Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the real honest truth. I was in absolute denial. I truly, honestly was the biggest in denial girl you will ever come across. I was truly sure I wasn't putting on weight. I was truly sure nobody could tell I was pregnant. I was truly sure I was still slim until like somebody pointed out to me, like, you're big here, you're big there, and then I started seeing changes. And then I looked in the mirror properly and I was one baller. I was huge. I was like, how the hell and when did I get this huge? I was like, this is my karma for every time I cuss fat people. Because, you know, I cuss, you know what? I am sorry. God taught me the hard way, okay? For every part, I've never physically cussed people to their face because I do not want to be hit, okay? I cannot fight. I do not fight. I've never been in a fight. I've never been hit. And I needed to stay that way because this face right here, and I needed to stay that way. And I needed to stay that way, okay? But I do take the piss out of fat people. But I now understand that you should not be taking the piss out of fat people. You do not know their situation. You do not know their lives. You do not know nothing. Mind your business. Do not talk about people's weights. Do not talk about how skinny somebody is when they're pregnant. Do not talk about how fat somebody is, whether they're pregnant or not. Do not talk about how skinny somebody is, whether they're... Do not talk about anybody's weight in any kind, shape or form. Do not talk about how skinny somebody is, because it's just as rude as calling somebody fat. Do not tell people they are fat. It's extremely rude. Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. Mind what goes in your mouth and mind what you see in the mirror. So mind your business, okay? That is it. That is all I gotta say. But yeah, I did not handle it well. When I started getting big, I was just like, I am done. Like when these kids come out, man, I'm running back to the gym. When these kids come out, I need to get my shape back. I was so obsessed about returning. And in hindsight, that was the worst thing I could have done to myself. Like, your body does return, not to normal, okay? Some girls are that lucky, but you need to accept the change that comes through with pregnancy is a blessing for your child to come into this world. Looking back, I should have just really, truly accepted my body for what it was doing and been at peace with it and just enjoyed the pregnancy. It goes really quickly, okay? Your reaction to the different skin tones of your twins, by the way, I think this is a blessing. The twins came out the same color, like they both came out extremely light, and it was just like weeks down the line that one started to get darker. And it didn't really bother me. I just think it's wonderful. I've got two completely different human beings. I have an obsession with identical twins. I wouldn't mind some in the future, but it's still, I love the fact that I have two different human beings. You can tell them apart, you know who's who, and both their skin is just perfect. I've got a caramel baby and I've got a chocolate baby, the best of both worlds. Absolute blessing, honestly. How do you manage to breastfeed the twins if they're both crying? Girl, the best way for me to have done that, the best way I did it when they were both screaming and crying, I had two feeding pillows, okay, and I put them on the bed, or I put them somewhere safe on the bed or the floor, and I got two bottles and I went plonk into their mouth. That easy. I always had milk on the go, milk ready. I pumped for over a year. I was pumping. Milk was always warm, milk was always ready, and I was milking like the cow. Okay, I produced enough milk for a year and I had so much more left over, honestly. Like, yeah, your body knows what your kids need and it will produce just, listen, my body knew I had twins. That's all I gotta say, okay? Is your husband involved in helping out with the twins? Do you do shifts? Absolutely. He still is. He was very hands-on. everything. Not that we did shifts, we just flowed, you know. When I picked up one, he would pick up another one. We just flowed. If I was tired, he would get up, he would go get the bottles downstairs, he would change a nappy, I would do this, I would do that. We just flowed. Like, it was so, it's as if God knew we were gonna have twins. Oh, not as if, you know what I was trying to say, it was as if destiny knew that we were meant to be together in order to be able to raise twins without causing hell, because that stuff there, raising kids, is hard. And I applaud every single mother that has done this alone, especially those with multiples. By multiples I mean like twins, triplets, quadruplets, and all those other numbers that are not normal. Not that they're not normal, but all those numbers that are high, and you've done it alone. Yeah, you're a strong woman. I know, I ain't trying to experience that now. Well done though, well done, honestly, for real, for real. What Bible verse and worship songs helped you during your pregnancy and after? Bible verse, I would always say, if anything, if I had any anxiety or worries, the Bible, I don't remember it word for word, but I'll find it and put the verse in the video. But it's the one that says, nobody in my household shall have miscarriages, nobody in my household shall abort or anything. So I always trusted in God for his word and what he said for me. God works differently for each individual, so for that helped me. So I don't want someone that believes in God or someone else that's a Christian that's had miscarriages or lost kids to feel that God doesn't love them. God works so mysteriously, and he knows what's right for you, what you need. Very hard. I can't even start to describe that some of the things mothers have been through during pregnancy, but that was what I held on to. That promise was for me specifically, but each one of us have different promises from God. Worship songs, I really was a big fan of Michael Ambaya Moise B. I absolutely love Ngolu Nayo. Like, if I would just show you how I was consistently singing it. I was like, Ngolu kakile yanzambe, Ngolu makambo ya lola, yeze bosantu to ganga, Ngolu Nayo, everything. I just like, that song touched me a lot. I just feel like God's glory, oh, it's just so beautiful to me. And now, Mike and Moise, I still have not cancelled out their music, but it's so much harder for me to like feel that connection with God through them, just because I know the BS that they're currently on. Passive, How motherhood affected or not your relationship with your husband? It absolutely affects any relationship, motherhood, like whether you're friends, but since you asked for my husband specifically, it absolutely did, because we're in for a shock. I wouldn't say the effects were always negative, sometimes positive. Negative effects came at times like where one of the twins would wake up in the night, and I feel like I'm the one that's woken up like the night before the most. So I'll be looking at him and he's fast asleep, or he's too tired on some days to go upstairs and get the milk that I've left upstairs in the fridge and warm it up because I'm too tired to breastfeed. So I'll be looking at him like I'll be angry, I'll be frustrated sometimes if I see him resting and I'm not resting, and vice versa. Like, you know, certain things of like how he thinks mothers should be, or how I think fathers should be. Like, there was lots of clashes at the beginning because we were both brand new to it. We don't understand what's going on. We've got 2 kids, crying babies. It was just a lot. So there was a lot of negative effects at the beginning, but then once we got into a routine, it's so great now. Now it's just loads of laughter. We laugh about it. Yeah, and we just understand each other more. We know what this one likes, we know what this one doesn't like, we know what's a trigger button for that one not to do this, and you know, we're now really in sync now, thank God. But newborns can really test out relationships, and it's for the best for you to just truly understand it's a temporary phase. That child will grow out of the crazy stuff that they're doing, and at the end of the day it will be just you and your partner. So you do not neglect your relationships. Do not let all these things that you're tied down with, or you know, all these new experiences just completely take over your relationship. If you have people that can help you, so important, take time out and rest so that you guys can go back to brand new energy. So yeah.